Hello, hello, hello. It's Mary Ziola Vega from Thriving Athletes. It's Saturday evening, and I wanted to stop in tonight because I had some interesting conversations today. I was speaking with some athletes. It's beginning to be the end of the year for some athletes. Some get done at the end of April, beginning of May in college. And so a lot of students that I've placed, not a lot, I don't know, a handful of students that I have placed, will call me and ask me about transferring. So I thought, what a better time to talk about it right now. Um, Transferring is one of those things that you really have to know if you want to transfer and why you're transferring. It can't be you're transferring just because you decided you like palm trees compared to mountains, that type of stuff. You really, unless you just want to transfer because of that. If you are an athlete and you want to transfer, you have to make sure that you're transferring to a school that is a D1, D2, D3. You have to see how will you transfer. If you transfer from a D1 and those qualifications are a little bit different from a D2, or you're going from a D2 to a D1 and those qualifications to be entered or to be accepted into that school are different, you have to meet those qualifications. You can't just say, hey, coach, guess what? I want to go to sunny Florida because I'm tired of the mountains here in Colorado. Nope, can't do that. What you have to do is you have to see if you are eligible. It's almost like being totally recruited all over again. You have to make sure you're eligible through NCAA to make sure you can transfer. Right? You had no idea, right? You just thought, oh, well, not a big deal. I'll go over and change, go to a different school. Now, if you're not going to play a sport, you can do whatever you want because it doesn't make a difference. But if you are going to play a sport and you're going to transfer, there's a couple steps. Now, I'm going to share my screen here because I think some of these things are really, really important, which I wanted to bring up. Hang on here. Okay. Did you know that when you want to transfer to be a college athlete, you have to get what is called a permission to contact? That permission to contact is for you to contact the other college coach. Now, the hardest thing I'm finding is that most students have a hard time getting this permission to contact, not from the coach, but going to the coach and asking for it. Because when you ask the coach for permission to contact, you are saying to that coach, you know what, coach, I really want to go here anymore. I want to change my school. I want to change this. I want to change that. And I'm going to leave your school to go to the other school. Now, the conversation I had today was with the mom. And the mom said, I think I'm going to move to Florida. And my kid goes, way up north. And I want to move to Florida. And I want her closer to me. Now, that's okay because the mom, is making that decision. Now, most coaches would say, well, your daughter's over 18. She can make any decision she wants. She can stay with us or not. But in this case, mom wants her to be closer to her. So with that being said, that would be a different case of transfer. When you ask for your permission to contact, you're basically saying, I'm going to be moving to sunny Florida from up north, and I need a permission to contact. That permission to contact is actually a sheet that you sign and it is sent on to the schools. Okay? So your coach that you are currently with has to say, sure, you can go ahead and contact Joe Schmo School. That's fine with me. Here's the note. Then, and only then, and only then can that college that you are going to contact you. Now, if you are someone like a recruiting person like me, you could call me up and say, hey, Mary, I'm looking at Joe Schmo College. I'm coming from John Doe College, and I would like to transfer. Okay. I could call that school and say, coach, this student a student I know of is thinking of transferring. Do you even have that position available for them or scholarships available? Because most kids have to realize when you're transferring, the school's not saying, well, we can give you a full ride here, so we're going to give you a full ride over here. That doesn't usually work that way. It really depends upon the school. You may go from one school program that has full rides and the other school program is only giving out partials. So there's so much you have to know before you decide to transfer. There's nothing wrong with transferring if you felt that is needed. Many kids feel sometimes that they get over recruited, they're not playing enough, they're not giving enough play time, and they want to transfer because they're feeling that the other school they want to transfer to will give them more opportunity to go ahead and basically go ahead and play more or be on the court, or maybe it's a personality conflict, or maybe a family conflict, or maybe it's a, whatever it might be. Maybe all of a sudden you decide to change your major and the school doesn't have your major. Well, those are all good reasons to transfer. So that's fine, but you have to be true in your head that this is the right thing. What I pulled up here is permission to contact. It's some really good information. It's like your current school has to give you permission to talk to, have to give the coach you want to talk to permission. You can't talk to them without that permission. I think that's pretty cool because that way you're being true. Because if let's say you're transferring from, I don't know, Nebraska to Iowa, very competitive schools. They're in the same division. They're in the same pack. They're competing against each other. Well, a lot of times you have to wait. If you're just transferring just because, you have to wait 1 year to play. You can practice, you can get suited up, but you cannot play on the court, field, whatever, ice for that 1 year because they don't want you going there just because you're trying to be over competitive. So that's one thing you have to remember too. So that gives you a 5-year plan to play. So maybe that works out well. So you have a 5-year plan to play because the first year of transfer, you can't play. And then you have 2 more years. Now, some schools, because you can't play on the court, but they want you committed to their team, will still offer you a scholarship that year that you can't actually play in playtime, but you can practice, etc. Sometimes that happens too. So here, if this is on ncaa.org, if you guys ever have a chance and you're just doing nothing on a Saturday night like me, go to ncaa.org. The information on here is freaking crazy. There is so much information on here. It's unbelievable. And did you know that they actually even have, look at this, they even have a transfer book. That's right. You want to transfer, you can go on there, you can download this, and it actually gives you all different things that you can be eligible to transfer. Okay, like your GPA, because let's say you're going to a school that requires you to have a GPA of a 2.4 and you only have, a 3.4 and you only have a 2.4. Well, you're probably not going to be eligible to transfer. So this right here, it's really great because it gives you some really good information about transferring. So I just really wanted to bring that up tonight because transferring sometimes is a very sore subject. A lot of people, hang on here, guys, okay? A lot of people, coaches hate when students transfer. They hate the fact that you are going to go ahead and go to a different program. But then there are the coaches that say, I have over-recruited you. I don't need you anymore. You're not a good fit on my team anymore. And let me help you find another spot. I've had that happen too. Or let's say a new coach comes on. New coach comes on and says, you know what, you're really not fitting the mold that I had in mind for my team. So you have a choice. You can stay here and continue going to school, or you can transfer, but you're not going to be on my team anymore. Yep, that happens. It's a hard thing, but you really have to be adult enough to handle it. On this YouTube channel, I have a lot of different downloads I'm going to start putting on there. If you would like to download about transferring, just click down below here. Just little comments, write download, and I'll make sure I go ahead and put that on there. I'm not sure, but I think YouTube I can put files on there. But if you do put download, I'll contact you individually and at least get you a file, just so you can learn how to download. And also, please subscribe to my channel. On this channel, I'm going to try to hit up everything possible for you and your college-bound athlete. And if you have questions or something you want to hear about, comment that below here too, because I just really want to make sure I help you guys out and find the right fit athletically and academically. If you are transferring, it wasn't the right fit. And if you weren't working for me, you might not have found the right fit because maybe you didn't go the right ways of getting there to get to that right fit. But maybe you just said, hey, I love this school in, I don't know, West Virginia, let's say, because it's beautiful with their mountains. Well, that might be great. but does it really fit you as an athlete academically for what is the perfect fit? Remember, that's what it's all about. Finding the right fit athletically and academically. Okay? Now, just went through stuff really quickly. Don't want to keep you too long. Mark down if you want me to send you it, and if what would you like me to cover? Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Whew, can't even talk. It's Saturday night. This is just a subject that gets me going. We will talk tomorrow night, and if I see any comments, I'll try to talk about that. If not, we will hit on another part of ending up the year. What do? How do you renegotiate your contract? It's that time of year. Anyhow, talk to you tomorrow. Take care.